Hello and welcome. This is the third installment in my series for the renovation of my 2008 Diamondback Response hardtail mountain bike. In the first installment, I managed to get this bike back on the road, in a manner of speaking, for under $10. It had been in storage for well over a year, and I took it down to the bare frame, cleaned the living daylights out of it, and put it back together with new brake pads for $6 and a new top cap for $3. And that's all the money I spent on it. In the second installment, I did a little bit more. I put some upgraded, budget-friendly items on it, such as a replacement stem, replacement pedals, and a much-needed replacement chain. I did that, off the top of my head, for about $70. And there is a playlist linked at the end of this video for these. The first part of this video will be the disassembly, preparation, and repainting of the bike, as well as installation of some of the major upgrades. And some of them I'm skipping. Frankly, you've seen one seat post installed, you've seen them all. And the same thing for stuff like brake cables and brake levers. Now, if you are interested in such things, I highly recommend the Park Tools, the Global Mountain Biking Network, and the RJ the Bike Guy YouTube channels. Tons and tons of info there. Then I'm going to follow that with a review of the finished product. you know what? I think this project turned out pretty darned well. I really like the way the bike looks now. That color is pimento red satin finish. I'm not entirely persuaded it's red or orange, kind of a mixture of the two, but it looks good. The yellow graphics, I think, highlight it pretty nicely. And a friend of mine, she told me that it reminds her of the Flash's costume. Well, I will take that speed inference. The tires are really nice. They're Continental Trail Kings. They're 26 by 2.4. And honestly, I don't think you could squeeze a kitchen match between those tires and the chain stays. You could not get a bigger tire in there. And that tread is really, really good on the trail. The one bike conversion worked out really well. I've used these IFX kits on several bikes. No problems whatsoever. I did swap out a 14 to 34 tooth Shimano cassette for the 1430 stock cassette, and the chainring up front is also 34 tooth, which gives me a 1-to-1 ratio in low gear. The Upanbike riser handlebar along with the ESI grips, those are great. It's a very comfortable upright riding position. And by the way, the ESI grips are made in the USA. And after a couple of hours on another bike with the same kind of grips, no wrist pain whatsoever. I like them. The bike on the trail turned out to be really fast. Although being a 26er, I did get a few pedal strikes because the bottom bracket's a little bit lower. And sometimes the 26-inch wheels do tend to get hung up on roots. But all in all, this is just a fantastically fun and fast bike. And I think it's fast because I repacked the front and rear bearings on the wheels. As much fun as this bike was to build, and make no mistake, it was, because I get a kick out of that sort of thing, it also proves a point. You can take an inexpensive bike. I bought this originally for $150, and you can turn it into a really nice bike with a modest budget. I've probably got, I don't know, a couple hundred extra bucks tied up in this. The biggest cost was the RST Gila fork. Now, it's not an air fork, but it does have a lockout, which was what attracted me. And it worked out quite well so far, and it's got 100 millimeters of travel. The stock one was rated at 80, and after years and years of wear and tear and whatnot, it was closer to 65 in practice. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a thumbs up. It does help. If you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. Below left is a link to the playlist for this bike, and below right is a link to another video which I think you'll enjoy. And until we meet again, I wish you health and happiness, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it when you do. Goodbye.